In our house, I frequently put the washing on the line and often do the ironing, but the washing machine is a temperamental, unpredictable instrument, totally alien to me. Laundry items come out shrunk, misshapen, or displaying strange colours that were never there in the first place. So apart from occasionally using the generic number 6 setting, it's Margaret's machine, and she can only blame herself when things go wrong. Quite recently, the spin cycle had just begun when the washing machine began to vibrate badly. It danced a Scottish jig beneath the coffee machine. Then a raucous buzzer signalled that the machine had shut down. The problem being its sodden burden of linen and towels was off-centre. We humans can relate to that experience. Although we have enough equilibrium not to shut down, we just aren't that well balanced because we have abilities and strengths mixed in with aspects of human weakness, upbringing and downright impatience. My tempers are fitful, my passions are strong. They bind my poor soul and they force me to wrong. Beneath thy blessed billows deliverance I see. O come, mighty ocean, and roll over me, wrote William Booth. Many other Christian giants down through the centuries have also been far from perfect characters. But God has still used them and blessed others through them. Take the Apostle Paul for one. Prior to his conversion, he had been such a vicious persecutor of Christians that following his Damascus Road conversion, many followers were still cautious and deeply afraid of him. Indeed, it was such that when he eventually returned to Jerusalem as a believer, Barnabas had his work cut out trying to persuade the disciples to let Paul share fellowship with them. Acts 9 verse 26. However, as a result of this act of bridge building or conflict resolution in today's jargon, a wonderful friendship developed between the two, with Barnabas aptly nicknamed Barnabas the Encourager. But sadly, as the pages of the book of Acts unfold, we discover that the two men eventually suffered a mega falling out. On their first missionary journey, Paul and Barnabas were accompanied by John Mark, a cousin of Barnabas. However, John Mark, for some reason, decided to return to his home in Jerusalem. Later on, when their second missionary journey was being planned, Barnabas then proposed taking Mark along again, this time as a helper. Paul was having nothing of it. He firmly resisted. A sharp disagreement developed, Acts 15 verses 36 to 41. And no compromise would be made either way, such that these two pioneering evangelists never saw one another again. Apparently this bust-up between Paul and Barnabas was not over doctrinal matters. Rather, it appears to have been a personal dispute based upon a difference of opinion. And to their credit, neither Paul nor Barnabas let the conflict distract them from their God-given responsibility of spreading the gospel. Indeed, more ground was now covered, with them now preaching in two different locations rather than double billing wherever they went. And in the long run, that may have proved best, at least for John Mark, because years later, Paul found this formerly useless Mark useful, as revealed in the Apostle Paul's very last epistle. Get Mark and bring him with you, because he is indeed useful to me for ministering. 2 Timothy 4 verse 11. Paul, Barnabas, John Mark. Three characters Who do we identify with? Are we and have we not been guilty of being hot-headed and belligerent in the past? Or have we shown favour to family and friends, those whom we've grown close to? Or perhaps are we immature, perhaps needing time to grow up? We might well tick all the boxes, that's fine. But rather than dwelling upon our past, let's accept the possibility of change and with the Spirit's power to live and be different. And I hope there's an amen to that.